Alright everyone, it's Craig here from Pure Dead Gaming, and I'm here today with a first impressions retrospective, I think you could call it, on eFootball 2022. Big day. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and I think many would say it's not going to have been worth the wait. What I decided to do this time, just a bit different. I have already recorded the gameplay, and instead of just talking over the top of it, I want to sort of play it back while discussing it. We can stop, we can take a look more deeply into how certain things are unfolding, what's happening, what's not happening, and maybe just break it down a bit better than you're able to do when you're in the moment trying to control the game at the same time. So I'm just going to pull it up here just now. Here we are. And so first of all, shite menus, I think we would say. I do not think this blue, yellow, occasionally purple aesthetic is particularly nice at all. Not a good look. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking with that. I mean, it is striking, but not in a good way. Some of the menus are quite cool. I'm not against all of it. Here I'm just showing you the controls. For the most part, they're the same, except R2 is now sprint instead of R1, but that is actually something that I manually changed anyway, just because it felt more natural. So I've been doing that for quite a few years. And here, now there's a lot of people been talking about the circle around the players turning off directional guide. That gets rid of that. So if you're looking to promptly fuck that right off, then that's what you do. So let's just go back here and we'll pause. So these are the teams that you will have access to at the start. I must admit, I don't particularly care for the South American teams. I don't keep up with South American football, and so they are not really of much interest to me. So for me and a lot of people that listen to our podcast, watch our YouTube videos, the teams that they're going to care about are Manchester United, Arsenal, Bayern, Juventus and Barcelona, and that unfortunately at the moment on launch day is your lot. There are a lot of other partner clubs. My own personal team, Celtic, they are a partner club, not included. Their rivals Rangers, partner club, not included. And there's obviously a lot more. I think Roma now are a partner club. There's a few other Italian clubs, and they're just not, they just haven't made day one. They are going to come at a later undetermined date, which is disappointing. But the disappointments unfortunately do not stop there. So let's keep it going. Interesting to note that the first time you start up this game, you play a training match, and that training match is Argentina against Portugal. And when I was playing that match, I was thinking, oh, that's cool. There actually is more than the 9 teams. Doesn't appear so. These teams disappear after you play the training match. They're not selectable from exhibition mode, and so yeah, very bizarre. So here I'm just showing you some of the different options. Obviously you've got your time of day, your season, type of grass. These are all things that were in last year's PES and many years before. One thing I did see when I played this game last night, I had played all the games during the day, and certainly at night the game looks better than it does during the day. I still don't think the graphics on next gen, they look decent, and once it renders in a replay it looks pretty good. But I mean, this is not FIFA 22 levels of visuals by any means. I'm recording this in 1080p because I Played the game in both 4K and 1080, and I did not notice a single difference. Whereas when I do such a thing on FIFA 22, the difference is pretty big. And so, I mean, that's kind of telling straight away. There is a decent number of stadiums here. I mean, it's a decent number, 6, but I mean, given there's 9 teams, I actually wasn't really expecting 6 stadiums. So the stadium list is not terrible considering the teams you have available, but it does, as we'll see here, get worse than that. So pretty standard fare here. And again, just all sort of stuff you would expect, but it's when you come onto this next section. Regulations. So in here, match time, extra time, penalty kicks, number of subs, and ball. On the surface here, fair enough. But when you go in, you will see that all that's available is 5-minute matches. Now, if this isn't a demo, what the fuck? There should be no reason why you can't play a 10-minute match. Absolutely none. They've already restricted how many teams you can go, how many stadiums you can play in, but why the time? I completely understand when it's a demo, they limit the time, because if you could make it a longer time and people were happy with the selection of teams in the demo, maybe that'll be them. They wouldn't need to buy the full game. This is a free to play game. What the fuck? I expect this to be patched soon, because I don't see any possible reason why they've done that. Just seems very, very bizarre. Which brings us on to this. One ball. Now, I'm not someone who... I play a lot of eFootball PES 2021 on PC with a lot of mods, and you can mod it so that basically every ball that's ever been kicked is available. I think that's cool, but I don't necessarily go in and mess about that much. I have a couple of balls that I think look quite good. I use them. I'm happy with them. So I'm not necessarily a ball connoisseur, but one football that is a made up eFootball football, unacceptable. I realise you can't have the official Premier League ball, but fire an Adidas in there, fire a Mitre football in there. Now these new cutscenes are quite cool. I like this. We saw a lot of this pre-release. Just a nice touch, but as expected, 2 or 3 games in, you're just quitting straight out it. Again, this is cool. You can choose your first or second kits, and I like how it's displayed. It's much better than just the players standing there with the kit on. I really do like that. It's a nice touch. And again here, seeing the players warm up, you can see the lineup. Happy with that. Definitely a fan of that. Here, it sort of goes to shit a little bit. For a wee while here, I'm trying to figure out how the hell I make a substitution, because I was expecting these subs to appear on the left hand side, which they did not. And so I'm just going to show you the new stats here, but I was trying to figure out how to make a substitution. And it's sort of hidden along the bottom there. You can only see 3 players just now, and when you finally go down, they then appear more. But I feel like that's such an awkward way to do it, and it's almost as if they're hidden, and I don't know why you would do that. And I don't think I'll be the only one that spends a stupid amount of time here trying to figure out how the fuck you make a substitution. as you see here, like it sort of comes up a little bit and then covers part of the players that are already there, which is daft as well. Then you go down and it makes the whole lineup disappear, which is even more stupid. So yeah, really, really bizarre, I thought. And so I just make a few substitutions here just to kind of improve the team a bit. And then we can get started. Also, the condition, you can only see if you switch to condition, same with stamina. So when you go to make a substitution later on, as I will come to, you can't see how knackered your players are until you hit a specific button to then see that, and that just seems like such a strange thing to do. Now this I liked again, I thought this was cool.
Well, a very warm welcome to you on this most pleasant.
And you can't complain about the stadium. I think the stadium looks good. That again, that blue and yellow light is just fucking awful.
Playing a hand in high attendance levels as well as an elevated level of anticipation.
And I can't say that my arse didn't collapse when I heard the bog standard commentary that has clearly been copied and pasted from the last 5 years.
A super club in so many ways.
I think it would have been top of the list for most people on what they wanted changed, and it's almost the one thing that has remained. So I'm going to let this play, and what we'll do is we'll sort of pause and break down different bits and pieces as they come. Not a fan of this camera angle. Fans of my PES content will know that I use a custom 0 height, 0 zoom, sometimes 1 zoom, and a 5 angle. Always prefer that. So yeah, I'll let this play and we'll see what we think.
I suspect I've probably overstretched my level of greed here. We have already started here. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game? Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. So what I did here was I just went in to have a look at the player faces. You'll notice in quite a lot of these that the detail in their face only pops in after a second or two, which is quite disturbing. Upamecano there though looks brilliant. Like, some of the player faces I do think are excellent. But there's too many of them where the detail's not there until it sort of renders in. If you see Kimmich's hair there just popping in. Same with Goretzka. His face was like a mould, man. Same's just happened to Gnabry. Like, it's happening a lot. And obviously this is something that can be patched, but it's a concern. Like, half of his face just had to pop in there. His mouth appeared to not exist until a second after we cut that over there. I mean, it's quite worrying. Again, this is a game that is going to be patched and it will be continued to be iterated on over the coming years, we assume, unless it absolutely bombs. But things like that they're concerning, I think.
Shifts it out to the wing. Sonny gets his pass away, looking for space out wide. The referee has given a corner. Punched away.
I just want to take this back a bit here.
His pass away.
So,
looking for space out wide.
There's a lot been made about how when the ball goes out for a goal kick, someone throws the goalkeeper the ball, he throws the ball down to the ground and then kicks the ball out. You'll see that in this video, and when it happens, cool as fuck. Really like it. one of the things that I always thought was really cool about FIFA was the seamless transitions. The same happens now with throw-ins. Unfortunately, they've not done corners or free kicks. For corners and free kicks, it's hard cuts. And not only that, but when I'm taking this corner, look at the fans.
The referee has given a corner.
Especially on the left-hand side there. What the fuck are they doing? Are they jacking the boxes? Like, not great.
Bonucci. Bonucci.
So again here, these are all, I mean, a lot of it's nitty complaints, but watch the way, I think it's Bonucci is dribbling here. Just here. What is he doing? It looks like he's trying to stop himself from falling over. Like, that is not the way someone runs. PES 2021 players ran realistically.
Now it's Dybala, and he's lost his man here. Looking for the runner. Now it's Cuadrado. Cuadrado!
I should note that you are going to see some pretty awful defending from me. I'm still getting used to the defending.
The gaffer won't let him forget that.
So you'll notice here that everything is quite slow.
Bonucci.
I mean, I love a slow game, but it's not the pace of the game. I think it's how slow the ball moves.
Sends it forward. And it's
so the pace of the players seem okay to me.
He certainly caught him.
So see that weird jump as well there? When it's a free kick, instant hard jump. Don't know what's going on with Cuadrado's arm there. But it's always a hard jump. And then it will come straight back when they're ready to go. So again, hopefully that can be patched in later. But yeah. And it's annoying that even during the game, unless you turn the UI off, you still are stuck with this horrible blue and yellow and even pink down the bottom. Just does not look good. This is me trying to make a fist of the defending. Which, to be fair, I get better at. I think it's in the second game I decide. See, here I'm trying to make Lewandowski turn there, and he's just not responding. He won't turn. He's halfway through a motion, and he has no interest in stopping. And I mean, he's turning like the Titanic in that bit there. Again, something that could be patched in, but I was so impressed in FIFA 22 on PlayStation 5, like the thump on the controller when you hit the post, like you get a great bit of haptic feedback. No such feedback on the current version of eFootball. I think it does vibrate a tiny bit, but it feels more like a whimper than an actual thud of the post. I did notice though that the post noise in PES is really good, but the feedback you get is not, unfortunately. Another thing they did make a bit of a deal about was the shot physics, and I must say that does look good. I think the player models look good for the most part, although this tiptoeing forward with the ball needs to go. Bonucci seems to be a particular offender.
Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Davis.
Just bring that back there. I find things like this weird. So, granted the passing is a little bit more manual, but you've got players that just seem to refuse to engage the ball now. So when this ball comes forward here, like I think it's Upamecano, what is he doing? Is he trying to control the ball he's back? Just to show off? Or is he fucked that?
What is it though that really makes it work? Well, for me,
that as well.
Is the fact that
like what I've done there is just try to play a simple 2-yard pass, and Goretzka has just went, nah, not feeling it.
Football, Jim, we're seeing plenty of it. What is it, though, that really makes it work?
It's not even as if the pass wasn't to him. Like, on a harder difficulty, possession at that point is turned over and you're in trouble.
You can't hide. You have to front up in a setup.
It's Lewandowski! Good try. The outcome good.
So yeah, you will notice that I much prefer to play
Lewandowski gets a
like
foot in here.
sort of fluid build-up. Like, I refuse to just attack. I like to play football games more with as much realism as possible, and there's another one. Get the state of that. So unfortunately, like, 5-minute games are a massive hamper to me, because the only way I like to play football games is slow build up, looking for space, trying to work it, and it's just not conducive in games this short, which is why, like, you'll see games play out like this.
It's come loose. Smoothly does it. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick.
I thought that was okay. It does look a bit janky, but it did seem like Chiellini was pulling you back, which he never got that before, so I don't know if that was just not a glitch, but I just don't know if the physics sort of get caught, or if that was intentional. But if it was intentional, then I'm all about it.
And a great opportunity to open the scoring here. This certainly looks
Free
appetizing.
kicks appear to be the same as last year. I think this is the only one I get in a decent position, but although I do make a bit of an arse of it, it did feel very similar to PES 2021, so I don't think there's been much of an update as far as they go. Corners also feel very, very similar.
Only partially clear. Dybala. He's left his man. Needs a good ball here. He's in space and looking for options. Muller puts his foot on the gas.
Not sure what that touch from Muller was. That's probably something I need to work on, though. The double touch on the sprint it used to use doesn't appear to be there anymore. That's not a thing. But certainly I must have done something there, because Muller doesn't take touches like that.
Now it's Dybala. Oh no circumventing this opponent.
So as you can see in that passage I play there, things can get quite scrappy quite quickly. And we've went from being in the 60th minute about 5 seconds ago to injury time.
Can't get the better of his opposite number.
Thought that was an okay touch. What about that tackle though, eh? That's timing excellence there.
Kimmich. It is going to need 30 more minutes. No winner after 90.
Well,
So yeah,
0-0 doesn't offer a fair reflection of what
I think we
we've seen.
maybe
The
bust
game's
up the
been
pitch about
vibrant. I think
2 or
the
3
atmosphere
times
has
in that whole
remained
game.
buoyant, and we
You
need
just
the
don't get the time.
Step into line.
So a short
Which is
respite
why
for the
I
players
stuck
and
extra
prepare
time and
themselves for
Penalties
another 30
on.
minutes.
So here I am trying to figure out who's knackered and who's not. You can't even see. You have to press square for condition, and that brings up the bar along the bottom. To me, like, why not just have that bar there all the time, and then you would be able to quickly tell who needs to be subbed. I don't know why that needs to be hidden. Just seems a bit strange.
Bayern Munich can make their change now with a break in play. So we have a double substitution going on here.
Number 10.
Into extra time we go.
Leroy Sané. Number 25. Thomas Müller. Coming on the field. Number 11. Kingsley Coman. Number 18. Marcel Sabitzer.
So, I was wondering what I was doing here, but I think this might have been the case last year in PES as well, but I was just sort of looking, I was really disappointed that the benches are sitting empty. The subs aren't there. Which is, it's a minor thing, it's something you're not going to see very often, but, I mean, for fuck's sake, put folk on the bench, how hard is it? Just looks amateur. So yeah, not clever, not clever.
Kimmich, Upamecano, Schüller. The ball's come loose.
Another example there of just the ball moving so slowly. To be fair, I do think that there is a learning curve here. I notice on the sort of power bar that I think you have to hold pass down a little bit longer, although I do try that later on. I mean, look at those two passes there from the AI. It's nice to see that they make mistakes as well, but the passing just feels a bit off. This is me getting in and amending the passing so that X is tackle. Something I also do in FIFA.
Could move up a gear here. There's no flag. Loose ball, who's going to get there? No, he's not getting his way this time.
Instantly I make two good tackles, which is about all that time, that half the time for, unfortunately, because when you're playing 5-minute matches, it turns out that an extra time half lasts about 35 seconds.
Unbearably tense, and the next 15 minutes will be the last chance for somebody to win it. And the action has already restarted.
So yeah, I was saying with the passing, so it feels like you have to hold down X longer to get a bit more pace on the pass, but at the same time I tried that and it does then oftentimes pass beyond the player that you're wanting to pass to, so you're sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Just want to defend myself a little bit here. That on the surface looks like a terrible shot, which it was, but I was actually trying to do a fake shot and cut inside, and I forgot that for some inexplicable reason, to fake a shot now you don't hold down shoot and then press X. I think it's you have to hold down shoot and then press R1, and it's going to take me about the next 17 years to get used to that. And so in the meantime, the result is an absolutely spannered shot that I think went out for a throw-in. Yes, a throw-in.
Juventus are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes...
And that's it, nothing to separate them. It is penalties.
So there we go, penalties in the first game. Hardly any chances, hardly any time.
Very little save from here, it's up to the keepers now.
And so we go to the spot to sort things out.
After 2 inconclusive hours, it is penalties. Boy, you can feel...
Something I noticed in PES 2021, I don't know if this is because of the amount of different mods I'm using and stuff like that, it entirely could be, but in PES 2021, the goalkeeper would always dive the exact same way you did, and it was as if they were reading your movements. And I don't know if that was some sort of, like, you don't get penalties often enough in PES to really know if that's built in and there's some sort of trick you've got to do. But yeah, I mean, I once had a penalty shootout in PES 2021 where I think we hit 15 penalties each, and the only ones I was getting in was if it just went beyond them. The keeper went the right way every single time, and that, let's just let it play, because I don't think they do seem to go the right way a lot of the time, but I think they don't every time here, which is promising. But as we'll get on to their penalty taking ability, Jesus.
Real attention. Lewandowski shoulders the responsibility of the first kick. And he puts them one up.
So yeah, he goes the right way there, but
change your mind, and the keeper
Lewandowski's
should
just
be
class.
neutralised.
Smashes it straight past him.
Morata with eyes on the prize. Great stop, keeper's denied him.
That's a good
Well,
save
that's a
from
super
me there.
save from the keeper.
If anybody's going to miss, it's going to be
To double
Morata.
their advantage. Oh, what a save!
Oh, the keeper's
See,
done
again, keeper
brilliantly
goes the
to
right
keep his
way,
eye on the
but
ball and make such a great
it's
save.
such a poor penalty that I don't
Perhaps
know.
the man you would pick for this moment. No, it's been saved.
Another save.
Oh, that's a super save from the keeper.
This to put them 2 up. And he's put them 2 in
The fact that they
front.
dived that time made me think that no, they're not reading it.
Juventus trailing by
But
2 now.
more.
Back off the post.
See, again, they've just
Oh,
missed.
we're talking inches.
So that's them missed 3 penalties in a row now.
This one to win it. Oh, he saved it.
See, again, he didn't necessarily dive the right way. He
Concentration from the keeper and a
just
wonderful save.
was within saving
it's down to him to
distance.
keep it alive.
So hard to tell.
And there it is.
But yeah, they go on to miss 4
Decisive.
penalties in a row. Which,
Shootout
granted, I'm only
winners.
playing in regular
Such a
mode, but
compelling way
you would
to win.
expect the AI to be able to score
And
1
They
of
were
4
so composed
penalties.
under pressure, and that was the difference.
Well, what a way to finish a long, hard match. Those players can be really
So
proud of
definitely
their
found that
efforts
strange.
to have come out on
And
top.
again,
That
nice
was
little
far from easy.
outro
Many
cutscene
thanks to
here,
Jim,
just
and with that,
Lewandowski
it
talking
is
to the
a
media.
very good night to you.
But these are all things that
And just a quick
you
reminder today to please drink responsibly.
are going to cancel. You're going to cancel out of immediately. Like, you'll watch it once, go, I like that animation, never watch it again. You're just not going to. And yeah, I hope they don't put too much effort into these cutscenes, because it's the type of thing that people are going to look at like twice and just be like, nah, no interest. Just to see this game out as well, I did think that the lad over the tannoy has a pretty good announcement. Let's put it back here so that you can hear it.
That was far from easy.
Many thanks to Jim, and with that, it is a very good night to you.
And just a quick reminder today to please drink responsibly. Anyone appearing intoxicated or behaving in an inappropriate manner will be removed. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Hear that? Nae drinking or you're out. Bayern, do not mess about. So here I make the mistake of thinking that when you go to select team that you'll be able to select your 2 teams. Bizarrely, it takes you straight to select your opponent rather than choose both teams. So I select one team and get rather confused. And then realise that I have to go back and then go back again to select both teams. It's a minor thing, but why? Just why? So our second match is going to be the struggling Barcelona against the formerly struggling and now fleeing Arsenal. Again, pretty cool. I skipped through it, but like you can tell they're coming through like part of the Camp Nou, and it's cool, but it's not something you're going to want to watch multiple times. Like you're going to end up skipping it. So again, I'm just looking at the lineup here. There's a few. I mean, they've not even gave Balde or Demir a mini face yet. Clearly, despite being a partner club and being Barca fucking loner, that was a bit too much effort. I was tempted to start with Aguero, but I figured I would play nice, considering he is injured and hasn't played yet. But certainly Pedri and for Sergio Roberto. I think we just fling Dembele on the right wing.
La alineación del Barcelona será.
Well, a very good evening to you wherever you are. I do hope that you can join me in appreciating this truly beautiful evening. A night that is absolutely ideal for a game of football. The scenes here really are something. A beautiful picture under the floodlights. Traffic and transport round here, not the kindest. But regardless of that, the fans have found a way of getting here. There is a sense of theatre and the decibel levels are rising. Blue and burgundy wherever you look, hymns ringing loud and proud. This is what it is to be in the Camp Nou. A mouth-watering game this between two very high-quality sides. A treat for everybody here.
Yes, Peter, it's a shame it's only a friendly, but then again, that may help us see a more expressive attacking contest.
So again, in these type of videos I like to just go in at the beginning of a game and show you the player faces. They are, I mean they're still the player faces from PES 2021, but they're higher quality renders. It just, again, does take a second or two sometimes for the detail to appear in their face. Doesn't happen every time, but you saw it happening there with Dembele's hair.
It's his pace that's his main attribute.
Like, when it comes in, like,
over those first few yards,
they look good. I mean, Ramsdale doesn't have a face, but for the most part, they look good.
Into great positions and likes to hit it hard and nice and early.
Pop-in
that's a horrible combination for
is going to have to be fixed.
That's
like Ben White's hair there looks great.
I think
really,
the
really cool.
opposition defence agreed too. He's going to be the source of so many of their headaches.
More hair pop in. Tierney, I think, looks excellent. I was looking at the more pop in there. I was looking at the FIFA render of Kieran Tierney, and it's nowhere near as good. Same with Smith Rowe. Like, some of these faces are pretty spectacular looking. Aside from Depay's boots that are clearly going through the grass. Bit of a strange one there.
Eric Garcia.
That was an example there of me trying to figure out how to get the ball moving faster. And so I held down X longer, looking for a more quick pass into Pedri, and the result was a pass straight past him. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to need some work. I know that there is a new type of pass and shot that they are adding into the game, but apparently, despite being ready to show to influencers a month ago, isn't ready for this release. So perhaps that will alleviate that. But I can only talk about the version that they've put in front of us just now, unfortunately.
Couldn't get the direction he needed.
And the 1-1 there, so here we go. Really cool. I really like how they throw the ball out there. And the fact that it's not a preset animation where sometimes the ball lands in different places every time. And I think that's really cool. Like, that's something that was, I think, quite important, because otherwise it would look just so like sanitized. But the fact that it lands in different places each time, I think it's really cool. It's honestly one of my favourite additions so far.
It's a good foot in there. Barcelona looking to get their possession game going here.
Yeah, it can be very...
Arsenal have a free kick.
It's not bad enough that they've got this stupid colour scheme that they have to have it on the ad boards behind the match just to really noise everybody up.
Oh no, that's not the ball he wanted.
So here with Depay, I'm trying my best to turn, but he just doesn't want to turn. Like, it just seems completely unresponsive. And then when you play the pass, it's just completely wayward.
And get others into the match.
Over to the other side. Jordi Alba. Oh, that's a waste. Aubameyang. Now looking to orchestrate a counter.
Pulling off a tackle feels great though. Like, it's not that it ever fully bothered me, the defending in the old PES, but it was too easy. Like, just holding down press and almost always winning the ball, occasionally giving away a foul. Like, this is way more in line with like FIFA style defending. Like, you have to, it's quite skill based, and I really like that. It's about time. So that was a pretty good finish from Saka there. And something that I would give them a little bit of credit for here is that it does appear, it's so stupid I have to mention this, but it does appear that when players go and celebrate, when it then cuts to a sort of action shot of them celebrating, that they are in the same place that they were, and that was not the case in previous versions of PES. You would run off to a corner and you'd press the celebrate button, and then they would be celebrating 20 yards away, and it was so stupid. But it seems like that is better, and it's such a minor thing, but it's less immersion breaking, so I'm a big fan of that. What this goal does give us though, is the first instance of the almost non-existent net physics, and I believe it's in the third game that I actually go into slow motion in a replay. And to be fair, actually, in a replay it doesn't look as bad, which is a bit strange, but in real time, like, the net physics look awful. It's like players are shooting in against a brick wall.
But there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, they definitely won't be happy with that half. They seem to lack a bit of desire, especially going forward. It wouldn't surprise me to see a change or two.
So we're already into the second period.
Barcelona don't need to press the panic button just yet. They may have to tweak their setup first. If they don't grab an early goal in this second half, they can't hold back though.
And it's Dembele. Done very well to intervene.
So again, at that point there, it's a strange one. At
It's
this
Dembele.
point here, see Pedri in the middle of the pitch is making a run, and I'm trying to play Pedri through because he's off, and then that would draw out Ben White, which would give Depay more space, and that's what I'm trying to do. And in other football games that would work, but instead, despite the fact that I'm trying to pass inside to the middle of the pitch, he just inexplicably plays a really, really bad pass to Depay and we lose possession, and I don't know why that happens. See there, I'm aiming at Pedri, but instead he just fucks this long ball up that's got no chance of being successful, and I don't know why.
Oh, there's the clearance.
I don't know why they did that. It almost feels like, you know how sometimes if you're playing Master League and your team has no chemistry, so the players just play really crap passes.
Now it's Memphis Depay.
That's a little bit what it feels like.
Memphis Depay! And he nearly went all the way.
Well, at least the crowd are appreciative of his efforts.
La asistencia a este partido asciende a 96.628 espectadores.
Busquets. Jordi Alba.
So at least there's a couple of nice passes able to be played together.
Coutinho.
Rare.
Oh, important interception.
Barcelona showing a little more urgency now, and to be honest, Peter, this is what's required.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well,
Yeah,
the
they
question
put the ball
now
in there.
is whether they can sustain it.
This could fall anywhere, and the finish!
I mean, you take the goals when they come, but
There's seen no way back. But
and
they
granted I'm
are
not playing on the
heaven.
hardest difficulty, but what the fuck is Smith Rowe doing there?
Terrible error, duly punished.
It looks even worse on the replay. Again, you got an idea of the pretty poor net physics. Like, what is he doing? It's not as if there's not a pass on. Not great. And it's also noticeable that the colour scheme, the sort of splash
And
screen that
has
goes
added
between
a
the
whole new
gameplay and
complexion to the
the
game.
replay was like chugging, and
I
I just don't understand why something like that would happen. Unless, as we're pretty much finding out, the game was not ready really to be released.
Oh, that's a key interception.
Barcelona showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources.
So let's see if we can get a winner here.
It's a good ball and he could be in. And he's there to cut it out.
Well, both sides might have to settle for a draw here, although there's still
Again,
a chance.
this time
for
it's Odegaard. Don't know what he's doing, but I'll take that finish all day long. Although celebration's a bit daft. I know it's I like when they run to the bench, but it just seemed like something activated, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, it just didn't look overly natural, I would say. Not that the goal celebrations in PES ever have particularly hit any heights. I think this might actually be the goal where I go in and have a look at the net physics, and it turns out that in a replay they don't look as bad, but in real time they barely move. I jeez, is that Smith Rowe again? It was Smith Rowe again? I thought it was Odegaard. He's had an absolute nightmare. Cost the Gunners 2 goals. Yeah, in this replay here, when I slow it down, all of a sudden it doesn't look as bad. I think it's more just how quickly they return to a stationary position.
Barcelona. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that's bounce back ability.
So yeah, let's get a couple of goals and normal play in that game just to
determinedly getting there in the end.
Show you the celebration sort of initiation is a bit different, a bit better. Again, not something that's particularly important, I wouldn't say. Here again, now this time we've got Depay talking to the media, but you're going to just skip this. No one cares. Seems to be whoever gets man of the match, which fair enough. At this point, obviously, I have figured out that when you go to pick team, you have to press circle to go back one. And so this time we take a look at Man United against Flamengo. And at this, I'm basically fed up at this point, and so I've turned off extra time and penalties because I don't want to have to play any longer than I need to, which is telling. Again, this is cool, like seeing the players turn up. This kit screen's pretty good. And I do like seeing the players warm up. But this menu sucks. And the colour scheme sucks. Not sure if it's going to be coming through on the microphone, but apologies if the heavy rain, not the game, is appearing in the audio. Now, this is not a mistake. Some people may think it is, but what I have actually done for the lols is put Phil Jones in central defence. Will it backfire? Probably, but it's funny because it's Phil Jones.
Well, good evening wherever you are on this most pleasant evening. As you can see, there's been a terrific atmosphere here. There is great expectation.
See there, the lighting's really cool.
It has built nicely in these idyllic conditions which are certainly playing their part in creating
like I've stated sort of on social media that I don't feel like this is a massive jump forward. It doesn't look bad. It's a decent to good looking game, I would say. I just don't think it's the next gen leap that people were expecting.
Much excitement for the game ahead.
What they have done, though, is by moving to Unreal Engine 4, is they've set them up for themselves up for probably a massive boon next year when they port it to Unreal Engine 5, because then it's going to look incredible. At the moment, I think it's comparable with last year, but I think it's going to end up looking real good. But again, it's one of these things where it feels like every year it's, oh, improvements are coming, be patient. Like, eFootball fans are sick of being patient at this point, and I don't blame them. So again, I'm just going to look at the players here. You'll notice a lot of pop in. De Gea's hair, Phil Jones' eyes. Look at the state of that. That guy couldn't even win a Slammy award. There's the back of Shaw's head. So McTominay there, one of the most obvious culprits here. When you go to him, he's got no detail in his face, and it has to pop in a second later. Really bizarre. Really stuff that should have been ironed out before it was released. Same thing with Sancho. Big giraffe neck there, he's fine. That was a particularly bad one there.
He's got away. There's the hit.
And so that didn't take long. 8 minutes in game, 4 seconds
the deftness of touch.
in real time, and we're 1-0 down to a Flamengo.
The goal scorer for Flamengo after 8 minutes is number 19.
Not the best animation from De Gea there.
Flamengo take the early advantage.
I've noticed actually with the goalkeeper animations, like outside of this video, I have played maybe 4 or 5 other games, and I mean, what is that? But yeah, the goalkeeper animations seem very, very familiar.
Oh, that's such a good
like
run. More of that, please.
They seem copy and pasted, I would say.
Oh, he's not going to get that.
Thought that was a bit of a bizarre one as well, with Sancho just deciding not to engage with the ball.
Sure.
Although it is nice to see the computer playing some wayward passes.
Oh, strongly challenged there. Forward.
You wouldn't really notice it unless you were in control of this bit here, but this ball I play to Sancho, like, I was trying to then pass the ball infield, and it was just so sluggish. I remember it being a particularly frustrating moment, because it felt like time stood still, and he just wouldn't get the ball under control and pass it. Like,
Sure.
it really, really sluggish here. Like, as soon as that happens, I was trying to like chest it and then play it first time, and he's just dawdling. And like, I can understand that if you're playing with some weaker players, but I'm sorry, but Sancho's an excellent player and has a really good rating in PES, and I feel like the responsiveness just isn't there. Thought this was a bit of a strange one as well. Clearly a foul. The collision system has issues. I mean, he's absolutely taken out there, and then everything just sort of stops and stands still for a split second as people can't figure out why a free kick wasn't given right in front of the linesman. Only for me to be hauled up for that.
Ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances.
Just informing us about the holding L2 to protect the ball. It's something I've not used too much so far. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to use it more. Maybe go Bayern and use Lewandowski, who's quite a strong player. So I feel like you can maybe do some cool stuff with that. Like I say, I've just not really had the chance. That bit there with Ronaldo again, I'm trying to get a shot off, but I don't know, it just seems so sluggish. He just doesn't want to do it.
Tries to get it clear. McTominay. And it's Pogba. Cristiano Ronaldo. Great position. Pogba! It's bounced out. In he goes again.
Just having no joy there whatsoever. But yeah, in terms of like overall thoughts on the gameplay, you can definitely the PES DNA is in this game. Like you couldn't possibly pick the game up for even a minute if you're someone who plays PES regularly and not go, ah, Konami made this game. Like it's got the PES DNA in it. It's just it doesn't feel like a mobile game. Like my worry was it was going to feel like completely like a mobile game, and it doesn't. But it feels more like a mobile game than last year's did. Like, one of the reasons they moved off the Fox engine was because they said that couldn't run on mobile, so it's not surprising. Like, I just... It's a step back, everything feels a bit more sluggish, it feels less responsive, it feels... The defending's much better. It's got pluses, it's not all negatives, but there's no getting away from the fact that it's a disappointment. It's definitely a disappointment. I mean, what...
no, that's not the ball he wanted.
What is Willian doing here? No, it's not Willian, it's Thiago Maia. He's just ran straight past the ball. Like, engage with the ball. There's too much of that.
To sit back for the moment here.
Yeah, everything they're doing screams.
There's times when you see a flash of something that you're like, oh, that was nice, I like that. There's the odd nice touch, there's the odd good tackle you pull off that feels really good. But then for everything like that, you then chest the ball down and pull off a ridiculous header like that, like you're some sort of giraffe, and it just pulls you completely out of the moment. And I don't know, I feel like, see if this game had came after PES 20, I feel like certainly I would be a lot more
McTominay
open to it, but
they've got it back as soon as they
I think PES 2021 might be the best football game ever made, certainly on PC, and
he's going to be pulled back for that one.
It's coming after what I regard probably the best football game ever. It's a massive step down, and it's not something that can't be fixed. Like, as I said earlier in the video, they do plan to update this game all the time. I would hope they would take community feedback into consideration, and when they do that, we could end up with something special again. But to get to that point, it's going to take a lot. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to take a lot. Here's another example here of just not particularly good AI teammates. So ball comes forward here, nice touch in the chest from Ronaldo, ball out wide to Greenwood, and Bruno Fernandes, for all intents and purposes, is through here. But I'm going to slow it down. He just decides to sort of take a step back and pull out of the run. Just there, watch. Just there. Just there.
Technical tweak should help the quality.
I'll show you again. Apologies for the slow commentary, but right as I'm about to play the through ball, he just pulls out of it. And things like that happen all too frequently.
Manchester United might just end up kicking themselves after that. If they're lucky enough to get another, it has to count.
Needs a good ball here. Done very well to intervene.
So the game just fizzles out way too much as well. Like, That big dirty tackle.
Whistle's gone, and they've got themselves a free kick.
Well in, Philip. Look at his face. He's raging.
But for now, the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket.
His shocked face. Oh, quality. Can't beat a bit of unintentional humour. 0 minutes added on, of course.
Always in the balance.
And much like my time with this game so far, it ends with a squeaky fart of a 1-0 loss.
And this was about as insipid as it comes.
It really does. Yep, that's the 3 games that I recorded for this First Impressions eFootball 2022 Let's Play. It's a disappointment. I went over that just a few minutes ago. It's a massive step down from last year. It's a game that can be saved. It's a game that could have a future. Look, it's fine saying it's a demo just now. It's fine saying, look, it's 9 teams, it's a demo. You got it for free, stop complaining, fine. But the problem at the moment is that this game, as it stands, can't be fixed by adding more teams, adding some shitty Ultimate Team mode, and potentially at some point, if they're still supporting it, adding a Master League mode, which I genuinely fear is just going to be the same Master League mode we've always had, pumped down in a 5 gig patch with no changes. I really, really fear that that is going to be the case. And if it is, people will go mental. But even if that isn't the case, the gameplay is not at an acceptable level right now. It is going to have to be refined massively. And the worry is, like, there's nothing to stop Konami getting this back to the level of PES 2021 or better. But if they are going to continue with this crossplay between mobile, PS5, fucking toaster, then are they able to? Are they able to push the next gen PS5 and Xbox Series X and S gameplay to a level where it really feels like the next level of this franchise? Are they able to do that? Or are they stuck because you have to be able to play online against someone who's on a fucking iPhone 13 playing with touch controls? And I feel that they've boxed themselves into a corner, and it's not one that they can't abandon. They could just turn around and say, look, fuck this, PES is still free to play, but consoles play with each other and mobile play with each other. That's all they have to do. But I feel like they have sort of dug themselves a hole and they've hunkered down, and this is their plan. And I think it might take a lot for them to then back out of it. I think it would take this to be dying on its arse for them to back out of it. And I don't rule out the fact that it could die on its arse, to be honest. I've put a lot of feedback out so far on Twitter. I haven't read that much, although the few things that I have seen have been all negative. I haven't seen anyone saying a good thing about it yet. I'm sure there are plenty that have embraced it and are enjoying it, but from what I've seen so far, it's been very negative, and it will be interesting to see the sort of fallout in the coming days if websites review the game. It was interesting to see that there was, as I said earlier, influencers who got to play it early, and when they dropped their first impressions about a week ago, from what I saw, it was mostly positive, way more positive than I was expecting, and to be quite honest, way more positive than I feel what I have played so far merits. And if I was one of those influencers just now, I would be concerned that I've done my credibility some damage, because you had a lot of these guys coming out here and been like, no, this is a really good game, you're getting a really good game, and what we've got is this. And I don't think those two things correlate, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what these guys are saying today. Like if they're saying, look, we played a much better version, or I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, this has been our first impressions Let's Play. We will continue to make some content on this game, I think, although I certainly anticipate for the next year at least my primary football game being FIFA 22. They have made strides and PES has went back the way. Sorry, RIP PES. eFootball has went back the way. And we will keep up with it. I will continue to, anytime there's an update, I'll continue to check it out. I'll put more videos out. We will analyse it. We will take a look at it. But for now, not massively impressed. One last thing, no Platinum Trophy, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth to PlayStation fans. I would say it's a trophy list that has 4 silver, 13 bronze, and I believe you can pretty much get all the trophies in about 2 games. It's a completely easy list. I don't usually play PES on Xbox just because of the lack of editing options, but given the state the game's in just now and there isn't even an edit mode, you're getting the same experience on both consoles, and so I will be playing on Xbox to get the 1000G because it's going to be an easy and quick one. But yeah, I mean, when you can't even get a trophy list right, you're pissing into the wind. But anyway, yep, this has been our first impressions Let's Play. I am Craig. Please check out all our content. You can go to puredeadgaming.com. You're watching this video on YouTube, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment if you would so choose. We occasionally, very occasionally, do live streams on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/puredeadgaming. And we also have a weekly podcast, which is Pure Dead Gaming, and that drops every Thursday at 3 p.m. We are really starting to get a good following on there. It's been a lot of fun doing it this year. We're up to episode 39 now. That drops today, and we'll have some discussion on FIFA 22. Next week's we'll have a lot of discussion on eFootball, and we discuss some gaming movies, different stuff like that. And as I say, it's really starting to take off now, so give us a listen on there as well. It's available on all podcast services, including Spotify, iTunes, and the likes. So thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate your time and have a good one. Goodbye.